Because looking back, when found out I was pre-diabetic, I was 40. And looking back, it probably started in my 20s. Yep. Yeah, it can go on for decades before you actually get diagnosed. So I can go on and this all day. So we got another question. What about raw fruits and berries? Yeah, so that's a better option, raw fruits and berries, but you still can't overdo it. For example, when I was reversing my A1C and healing my inflammation, I kept the foods that turn to glucose the fastest to a minimum. Okay. Because glucose is glucose when your body's inflamed. Because what I find that happens with a lot of people that are in this journey and want to do well, they try to heal doing more maintenance type stuff. So it's one thing to heal and reduce the insulin. Let me just share my example. When I was insulin resistant or pre-diabetic, I watched all sugars. Yep, in the chat. Sharon says she's been pre-diabetic since she was 24, now 58. Yeah, it starts at our 20s. It does start at a very young age because at young, we're in college. I'm, drinking Pepsi and eating pizza at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then we wonder, goodness, our bodies can't handle that year after year. But back to healing it. I mean, I can't give you all the answers now, but just giving you an idea of what it takes. So when you find out you have high A1C, like I did, remember, every time you eat, you increase insulin. The foods higher in glucose and carbs increase insulin quicker than proteins and fats. Fruits are one of those things that'll spike insulin levels. There's nothing wrong with fruit, but it will spike your insulin levels quicker. So when I was healing, I kept my low glycemic fruits like berries, strawberries. I didn't eat mangoes. I didn't eat pineapple. I didn't eat a lot of the sugary fruits because I wanted to heal the insulin. But now that I'm healed, I can eat bananas again. I can eat, those fruits again, but I still don't eat it all day long because I know that I'm prone to get diabetes. Okay. So I don't want diabetes again. So now I just keep my fruit limited. I don't eat bread. I don't eat pasta. I still, to this day, 80 pounds later, I've lost the weight, but I still, to maintain the weight loss and to maintain my health, I still intermittent fast and I still keep my fruits to a minimum and carbs to a minimum because I know my body and I know what it can take. I can't eat potatoes, but I can eat brown rice. So I know the foods that are triggers for me. So, how long did it take me to heal? I'm going to be honest with you, because I was sick for a long time, it took me, I guess the bulk of my healing happened in a year. But I would say to be normal in my blood work, about 2 years. Because I didn't get sick overnight. So you can't expect to get healthy overnight. So it is a process. But I started feeling better really quick. But when you start to change your diet, yeah, you'll start to see the results. But we're talking about healing at a cellular level. We're talking about reducing inflammation. We're talking about getting healthy and staying healthy and going through menopause and aging gracefully and all that. All right, I'm 53. And just to let you know, it's like I've been there. I know what it's like because we got, upper 40s in the group, upper 50s in the group. But I just know I've dealt with all age groups, but I know a lot of our problems happen over 40. But these are good questions. Chickpea pasta. I look at the labels. Start looking at labels and look for the carbs, the total carbs. You got to start looking at labels. And that's one of those foods that are very high in carbs, and my body just don't do well with high carb foods. And to become pasta, chickpea, I could probably do okay eating a small bowl of chickpeas, but to make it pasta, you're eating a large amount. They have to process the noodles. So think, when you eat chickpeas, it's good as a side dish, but if you're eating it as noodles, think about it, you're probably getting way more than you would if you ate regular chickpeas. So just think, a lot of these foods are processed. And when they're processed, they're stripping the fiber, stripping the vitamins and minerals, and doing this to make it look like noodles. And that's what gets us. Oh, rice crackers and all this. So you're better off eating the whole grain rice than eating a box of rice crackers. Yeah. And that's what gets us. We think we're doing the right thing. We think we're making improvements, but you go to Whole Foods, you get your rice crackers, you get your chickpea pasta, you get what else is out there? Your rice bread, your oat milk, but just understand it goes through a process to do that. Because I know a lot of people now are going meatless. I love plants, but a lot of times these plant-based diets can be dangerous, especially if you're doing Beyond Burgers and Beyond Sausage. Those are very toxic as well, because we talked about toxicity being a leading cause of inflammation. And a lot of times, by the time we get diagnosed with diabetes, you've been dealing with insulin resistance for a very, very long time. And now I'm finding that it starts really in our teenage years because that's when we eat the worst. It's just our body we just don't notice it right away because so much is happening when we're growing. And then here we are in our 40s and 50s, like what happened? Because those habits that we just been carrying on and we just continued it without even doing anything about it. Yeah. So this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It does take time.